Well, we are live. uh, Today is to make up for yesterday, because yesterday, for some reason, we just weren't getting internet. So that's always fun, right? Let's see, what have I got? All right, hold on. Oh no. Uh, awesome. All right, just a second. I don't know. Today's just gonna be a chill day. I think it's funny that I think it's funny that so many weird people are so weird gatekeepy about certain things. You know what I mean? And I don't get it. I don't get uh why they have to do that kind of thing. Why they have to talk about, oh well, if you don't this, then you're not that. If you don't, you know what I mean? If you don't subscribe to this or you don't know about that, then how can you ever yada yada yada? I don't fucking get it. I was actually talking with Gibby about just people in general and how uh how people are kind of gatekeepy sometimes, I guess would be the best way to say it. And he was talking about the idea that he was talking to one of his coworkers, and his coworker was telling him, "Oh, well, I think this is my son's game, so I'm gonna that's fine." Certain people don't like or nobody likes dialogue anymore, I believe is what he said. And I was like, well, that's just not true. It's just that dialogue is no longer the prominent way of delivering a story. There are other stories now. There are other mediums now and other methods too. Uh, uh, there are other methods. There are other methods that you can use to convey stories. You no longer need just pure fucking dialogue. Like, oh, all our characters are gonna stand around and discuss like the intricacies of life and why this and that needs to happen, or so on and so forth. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, there's still room for it. You know what I mean? There's still a lot of ways to get that in there, especially when it comes to movies like Knives Out or other things like that. There's a lot of aspects when it comes to dialogue that needs to be done or said, and that's fine. I understand that. But for this idea that the only way, to uh you know have a good medium is through dialogue. It's just bullshit. It's just bullshit. You got vines that are 6 seconds long that can tell an entire story with just a few frames of stupidity. Like there was one by this guy called Marlon Webb called the uh, pool gangster or diving pool gangster or something like that. Literally, all you got to know about it is just it's just some dude dressed like a G from California diving headfirst into a pool in front of a pool sign that says no diving and a couple of lifeguards. Like that's pretty fucking funny and no dialogue, no big speech about who he is or what he is. And just 6 seconds of video, he conveys an entire story and it's goddamn hilarious. And this antiquated idea that oh fucking you have to have uh you know uh dialogue and your characters must be well bespoke and yada yada. No, the fuck you don't. No, the fuck you don't, dude. That is some bullshit. That is some bullshit and I don't like it. What game is this? What's up, Paul? It's Leaf Blower Revolution. It's free on Steam. You can just sit here and I got Roombas. I got like a nuclear powered leaf blower. I'm picking up on my son's game. But yeah, I don't know. This is literally it's just an idle game. It's just something you do while wasting time. There's no point in it. It's just stupidity. But I believe dialogue has its place, and yes, like I do love dialogue driven movies. Fucking Quentin Tarantino is unparalleled with dialogue, and but while he uses dialogue in a very robust manner, he never lets his visuals uh stray away from what's supposed to be happening on screen. I do this for a living. I think I'm good on a leaf blowing game. Hey man, I got Power Wash Simulator. I can switch it up for you if you want. We can power wash your playground. We can do that if you want to. Uh, um, yeah, Quentin Tarantino, man, like he never strays away from the point of what's supposed to be on screen. You know what I mean? Like if there's something happening on screen, like something somebody's talking about, most of the time he does is what is the old adage? It's show don't tell, and therefore, uh, it's called. I don't know. I don't mind either way. This is just to help occupy my brain. Remember, I have ADHD, so I mean, we can totally do this. Check this out. Bada bing, bada bop. Come over here. Whoop. Um, but yeah. What was I saying? Quentin Tarantino. He never strays from what's supposed to be on the screen. He never doesn't show what he's talking about. Every time, every time there's something going on screen, he he shows you, he tells you, he you get to see it, like, as violent and horrendous as it is, or you know what I mean, as stupid as it is, as somebody running away from like the cops, or they're talking about it, so he's showing you on on the screen what's happening, so you get the audio, you get them talking about it, and you get the sense of the realism and how bad it is. For instance, Reservoir Dogs, when they talk about how uh, Mr. Blonde freaked out, but they don't really show it. Yeah, that's because it's a bit gruesome, but at the same time, dude had fucking what I mean, $6 of budget, so uh, it's just one of those things. So I believe I do believe that there is a lot of there is a lot of stuff like that that happens, and when it comes to certain aspects of cinema, yeah, you do need a dialogue. You do need a dialogue. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's certain things you have to talk about, and certain things that lead to other things that have weight to them, such as Insidious, right? So, like, in Insidious, in the kitchen scene where they're sitting down with a medium, and she's saying that there's an entity attached to the dad. So they talk about it, and they talk a lot about it. But while they're talking about it, they're also, showing hints of what is the entity and what it does and what it wants. And she talks about the idea that she went into the bedroom, and in the bedroom, like, the thing pointed at the kid, and you know what I mean. They got the creepy sound effects going and all that other fun stuff. But there's still visuals, and there's a lot of dialogue in that scene. But dialogue doesn't always equal good, and using awesome visuals doesn't always equal good. Sometimes people lose the goddamn plot, as Gordon Ramsay likes to say. Um, some people forget that you're telling a fucking story, and you kind of have to tell the goddamn story for it to make sense. And sometimes people telling the fucking story forget that there is supposed to be, something accompanying it. For instance, fucking Jason Bourne. First movie was okay. First movie was okay, but then you get into everything else, and you got the camera guy having a fucking seizure. And if you guys are on our Patreon, we do. Hi, Mikey. Welcome to the show. Talking about visuals and storytelling and how sometimes they don't always equal good. Uh, but yeah, if you go to like Jason Bourne, any of the Bourne series, uh, there's a lot of really cool visuals. Sometimes you have some awesome, beautiful shots, a lot of high contrast, but the dialogue and the sometimes the goddamn fight scenes, they just don't make any fucking sense. Like, why is the camera guy having a seizure? Like, what is happening here? Why is this guy why is this guy so fucking frantic with the camera? What happened? What is this? See? Oh yeah, see. Um who chose that style? You know what I mean? Like, it's so bad. And it's so horrible because, like, there are wonderfully choreographed fight scenes, and Matt Damon and the people that he trains with and does stuff with. I think even Pedro Pascal was one of them. You know, they do these wonderful choreographed scenes, but it's lost. It's lost in this horrendous camera shake that the directors chose to use, and I don't get it. I don't get why. And you know what's funny is that when you're talking about storytelling as a visual medium versus storytelling, via dialogue and stuff like that. That's one of those movies that could have been, you know, a lot more dialogue, and if they didn't know how to shoot action, and had they just admitted, we don't know how to really do action. None of us watched a Jackie Chan film from the fucking 80s. Like, I'd be more respectful of it. I'd be like, yeah, okay, I get it. Action's hard. You know what I mean? Or maybe, hey, Matt Damon was injured, so we didn't want to stress him too much. Whatever, some excuse. But the idea that they just straight up, just took the fucking camera and handed it to a guy with epilepsy, and it started hitting the strobe lights like they were in Ibiza. It's bad. It's bad visual storytelling. Is the Washer thing a real brand? Urban X? I don't think so, man. So remember, this is a foreign game. I think these developers are either English or Irish or something like that. If this game was made in America and it was called Urban X, it would come with a do-rag. Anyways, I didn't say that. Shut up, Mike. So you know, but you know, Gibby having this conversation about, oh, nobody likes dialogue anymore. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. Fucking most of Game of Thrones was dialogue, and for a couple of years it was the greatest goddamn thing on TV. They skimped out on all the battle scenes, and I think we can all agree on that. I think the first good battle scene was like the fight of the the Battle of the Bastards with Theon, and I forgot the fuck his other name. But you know, old Jon Snow and the other idiot. But I think we can all agree that, you know, it's just you gotta choose your art, man. And but this idea that, oh, dialogue is dead, I'm like, no the fuck it's not, dude. No the fuck it's not. It's bad dialogue. Bad dialogue is what kills a good movie. Bad dialogue also is just it takes the mood out. It takes the mood. Like, have you ever been watching a movie or a show, and that character, like the line that they deliver, you're just like, I don't believe that actor said that at all. That was fucking god awful. You know what I mean? Like, it's so horrendously bad that you're just like, who allowed you to keep this take? Like, that's what I'm talking about, though. Like, some people are so hung up on this fucking idea that, oh, I have to have a heavy dialogue driven movie. I don't want to be just another action director. I don't want to be just another sci-fi director. I don't want to be just another fill in the fucking blank director. And it's like, yeah, okay, dude. People want dialogue, not Marvel junk. You know what? And I agree, dude. Marvel is junk. Marvel is popcorn fucking bullshit. And I did, and like we talked about on the show, like a couple of weeks ago, you know, it's a generational thing. You know what I mean? But at the same fucking time, we can't just settle for any goddamn dialogue. Like, there has to be something to it. There has to be. Like, it can't just be characters talking with nothing to fucking say. You know what I mean? Like, they have to have something to say. Like, you want a good dialogue-driven show? Check out Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad was extraordinarily dialogue-driven, had a lot of incredibly complex lines and complex stories, and you know what? Like, fucking, it was a success because it was dialogue-driven. And Disney not only ruined Star Wars, they hurt Elvis. You know what? I keep meaning to watch that goddamn movie, and I'm gonna watch it today before I go to bed, so I can talk about it tomorrow, Mikey. I promise. Now, let's not forget that, you know. Let's not forget that Elvis always talked about his black roots in music, and how he got a lot of his music from, you know, going to black churches and stuff like that. And so I don't like DJ and I. That's the wrong button. DJ and I, we don't understand how, you know what I mean, everybody lost the plot, as it seems, with Elvis, saying that, oh, Elvis never talked about his black roots or influences. It's like, yes, he did. He did all the fucking time. What the fuck are you people talking about? And, you know, Oh, this is much more powerful. This is a better tool. Yeah. You know, it's just one of those things where I I uh I have to see it because I know a lot of people were not happy with it, but at the same fucking time, I'm like, it's like when Mustard was still on the show, and we talked about the Beatles, and we talked about that one trailer that came out. I don't know. I don't know how long you've been watching this, Mike. This was a while ago, but there was this thing that came out that was like, oh, all new footage from the Beatles gives all new perspective on why they broke up and why this and that. And it was, and Mustard and I were both sitting here going, dude, there's nothing left to tell. Like, we know everything. We know why they broke up. We know why they wrote the songs they did. We know why they chose the music they did. We know all of this now. Like, there's nothing left to tell. Like, why? Yeah, Get Back. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I believe you did. You were here, Mikey. I believe you told us to watch that. We did, and both Mustard and I were both saying that, like, there's nothing left to fucking tell. And this idea that there were all this brand new revolutionary fucking saga involving the Beatles, and I'm like, yeah, if you didn't know who the Beatles were, and if you haven't known who the Beatles were for 40 fucking years, uh this might be interesting. But for anybody who grew up with the Beatles and stuff like that, but they have video now. Yeah, I know, right? It's not like eyewitness testimony or the band members themselves in several interviews giving the fucking reasons. That's not good enough. No, we need to go to this weird, obscure thing that was filmed once. Yeah, it's fucking stupid, Mikey. Um, so I am gonna watch the Elvis thing, and because, uh, it's interesting to me. It's interesting to me in the same aspect as the Beatles thing was. It was like, well, what is there left to tell? Like what else can you fucking say? And DJ and I have grown just tired of the fucking narrative of certain things when it comes to Elvis, and be it that he's a German and I'm a Texan, I don't know. Be it that he was raised in Texas, despite being a German. Uh, it's just really annoying. But I mean, I don't like. I know Grave Robber hates biopics, and I don't mind biopics as long as they try to tell the truth. You know what I mean, or some modicum of the truth. I don't mind them. I don't mind them at all. But there has to be something. There has to be a concession. You know what I mean? That yeah, there's some of this was a little fucking some of this was a little exaggerated. You know what I mean? And with that, I can go, okay, okay. I know how much you're gonna lie to me. You know how much you're gonna lie to me. Let's get this story told. You know what I mean? But like when they do stuff like this is all factually 101 billion% correct because we were all there watching it happening in real time. No, fuck you weren't, bro. No, you weren't. You read a book once. That's probably outdated information by now. You know, get fucked. Get absolutely fucked. And yeah, like the Beatles, there's just what is there left to fucking say about Elvis? And so I am gonna check it out. I am gonna watch it. I am watching also the get the matchy thing of the tic tac toe the matchy thing. Which one? What did I miss? Oh, can I turn it? Can I? Oh, that would be cool if I could turn it. Oh, where's that? What is that super powerful? Not this is. Oh man, I can't turn it. So I'm also gonna watch the Kanye West documentary that a friend of the show's BJ he watched and said I should definitely check it out. I was curious, man. I was like that'd be cool if they could change. You know what I mean? Um, but I'm gonna watch that and see what they say about fucking Yeezy. Uh, because that guy's a piece of shit in way more aspects than one. And so I'm kind of curious to see like what happens with that guy. And uh, he's like VJ said on the show to me, he was like, "Oh well, you'll view Kanye differently once you see this." And I was like, I probably won't, but I'm willing to try. I remember when I watched the Bieber documentaries and how much I hated that. I still hate that fucker. I still think he's a piece of shit. But I understood a little bit more about him. I can say that. I can say that I understood a little bit more about his life. And I can say that I understood a little bit more of how young he was when he started making the music and the things that he was doing. And I can say that because of that, I see why this fucker's so developmentally fucked and why he's such a piece of shit. And I can, and in some aspects, I want to feel sorry for him. I really really do. Because when you watch those Bieber things and you don't like the Biebs, you have a different aspect. You have a different aspect of what is happening in the story. You know what I mean, in the movie. Because in the movie, it's like, oh yeah, he's so successful because his mom totally believed in him, and his mom would like help him film like these YouTube videos, and his mom was such a supportive person, and his dad was there in the beginning, and then his dad left, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, it sounds more like his mom was pimping him out. It sounds more like his mom was searching for the next YouTube personality. You know what I mean? Like the next YouTube hit back then, because YouTube was barely starting to take off. Barely starting to become a thing. Cameraman, huh? What are your thoughts about moving to LA to become a cameraman? I don't like California. I don't. I'm not a fan of the state or of the people in it. But it would, like, if I had the opportunity, I probably would take it. I'm not gonna lie. A boom operator, probably not. I'm not in sound, because a boom operator does more than just, you know, gorilla arm that thing. They have a lot of mixing and stuff to do. um, Cameraman, probably, because you get to work on DOP, you get to work second unit and stuff like that. So I think that would be interesting. I'm not a particular fan of California. Never have been. But I think in the end it would be interesting. It would be a fun experience if I didn't have to worry about anything financially, you know what I mean, or for a while, and could do this at a pace I chose. Yeah, absolutely. I would have to learn a whole new set of cameras. Like I got to learn a new camera today. I got to learn that over the next week or two. So that's going to be really interesting. But I think for a camera operator, I mean, union job, you still make bank. Like don't misunderstand. Camera crew don't lose work. It is like, the basic mantra of Hollywood. Like crew don't lose work. The actors do, writers, directors, all those fuckers, yeah, their jobs are always in constant jeopardy because the studio could not like what they do one day, or you know what I mean. They tweet something really racist or fill in the blank, whatever fucking gets them quote unquote canceled today or last week or whatever, and then their jobs out. You know what I mean? So they're always in constant jeopardy. So they always talk about work, but crew don't crew doesn't work. Crew doesn't stop working. If somebody on your production fucked up and your PA or something like that caught COVID, cool. You could rent us in 2 weeks when we're done with this other shoot because they paid while you're on downtime. So crew doesn't stop working, man. Leaving Las Vegas style. I mean, why not? Why the fuck not? Let's get crazy. Come on, Mike. You and me. We'll burn down LA. We'll go have some fun, man. But yeah, man. Crew don't stop working. So this I would always have work. I would never have to, you know what I mean, worry about like, oh, when's my next gig? Do I have to try out or do you? No, no. I'm on crew. Crew works. And also, it would be neat to, you know what I mean, have my chance to, mingle with some of the greats. You know what I mean? Have some interesting ideas to spew at people, have them wholly and utterly rejected, and then fucking, But you know what? I would have the experience. So I mean, there's a lot of aspects to it. And I think I think it would be kind of cool. I think it would be kind of cool to work on a movie in some capacity. Um, Maybe not Marvel, but definitely at least something higher end. And I think you know what I mean. Like I think it would be interesting, at least in the very least, at very least, to um, have my name out there. Have my name, associated with something that was created and something that was done with an artistic mindset. I think would be kind of cool, man. And I think, uh, like, would I take the opportunity? Probably. Would I whine and bitch about it all fucking day because I have to move to California? Yes. Yes, I would. You can bet bottom fucking dollar on that one. Like that Rust movie seemed like a small production. Well, I mean, they had a target they were going for. God, I gotta stop making those fucking jokes. Apparently they missed the mark. Or hit it, depending on what you want to define it as. Don't. Oh, Mike, that's terrible. Oh, fuck me. Um, yeah, but what I complained the entire time? I'm working in California, more than likely. I would end up living on the beach in a tent. Hey, man, the dude abides. Beach bum life is real out there. Like it is enough. It is enough to be a beach bum that you can live and live successfully, and not have to worry about stuff like that, man. Better than the camera woman. Well, she was a DOP, but you know. In the end, her job wasn't bulletproof. I gotta stop making those jokes, Mike. Stop. Oh, shit. Homeless in LA is scary. I mean, that's what a lot of people say, Mikey. And the truth is that it's always been fucking scary. It's LA. There's a reason it's called Skid Row. Like that whole fucking area, that whole area is just frightening. There was a like I think it's fucking funny, man, because there was a something that happened in Seattle, right, where in some homeless thing they have in Seattle, um, um, there was two homeless people standing in line for something. I don't remember what. But one of them, they ended up getting in an argument. One of them stabbed the other one, and while he was bleeding out, he ran to his fucking homeless tent, pulled out an AK-47, and started blasting, at the person that stabbed him up a hill. So literally, there was a fucking homeless person shootout in this fucking parking lot, and I have no idea how to feel about that, man. One, they got an AK-47. Two, why did they get stabbed? Let's do a Skid Row camping trip. Hey, man, you know what? Fuck it, I'm down. I'm adventurous. And I own more than one form of self-defense. Yeah. Let's do it, Mikey. I'm down. Just like Grand Canyon. What happened in Grand Canyon? That sounds interesting. But, I don't know. Shit like that trips me the fuck out. Get our own tents? Hell yeah. I'm down, Mikey. Let's do it. As everybody says now, let's fucking go. Ugh, I hate that scene. Yeah, apparently the back neighbors are having a cookout or something, and the dogs do not approve that they were not invited. So yeah, that's what that is. But I mean, homeless in Seattle, homeless in California, homeless wherever the fucking Denver. I mean, it's all the goddamn same, man. And it's all weird. And I don't like any of it. I've never liked California, man. I know so many people are like, California's a dream. I'm like, no, California's not the fucking dream. That's why everything's being made in Georgia right now. Grave Robber has a mutt that is mostly, I believe he just did his DNA test too. That's funny. He came back like mostly Chow Chow and American something dog, like American hor. I don't know. I got the results. Oh, I'll get that in a second. Hold on. Let's check it out. Let's see. So the Orion is 38% Chow Chow, 24% American Foxhounds. That's 52%, 18% Labrador Retriever, which is 70%, and then it just makes it from there. Shih Tzu, Dachshund, Pekingese, American Pit Bull Terrier, and a German Shepherd. But yeah, 10 breeds. The biggest three ones are Chow Chow, American Foxhound, and Labrador Retriever. Well, Chow Chow, I mean, he's such a chill dog. Like, and it's weird because Chows usually aren't very chill. Chows are usually dickheads, but Orion's like the goodest boy. He's the chillest fucking dog. He he rarely barks, but he's part of the pack. Uh, he's part of the pack of dachshunds that live here, and so when they bark, he barks because he's a pack mentality dog. So, yeah, but he's a good boy. Dumb as a bag of bricks and just as full of love. Orion like the star. Yeah. Yeah. He's the best boy. Um, get our own tons. I wouldn't like being in a city. I mean, I don't mind being in a city. Like the city I live in now is kind of small. It's very township-ish. You know what I mean? But I don't mind being in a city. Namely, just because I don't care. You know, I like mountains. I like trees. I don't like the beach. I don't like fucking tropical weather. I'm a very I'm a very cold weather person. So, you know what I mean? This concept that everyone's like, "Oh, gotta move to California. California's the dream." I'm like, "Fuck California." Never liked California. Never liked the weather. And the people that fucking say that they do, I think it's more. I think it's more they're buying their own bullshit than it is anything else because California sucks. And not to say that all people in California are shitty, but a lot of them are, man. And you know, I don't know, but I mean, fucking, I wouldn't mind camping in Skid Row. Let's do it. I got more than enough self-defense implements. Mikey, you and I could survive the homeless apocalypse or whatever the fuck is gonna happen. Hey, we'll make some Silent Hills. Are you guys really thinking about meeting in Cincinnati? We are going to meet in Cincinnati. That is not a that is not a thing. That is not a thought. We are going to meet in Cincinnati, October 29th and 30th. That is not a thought. Yeah. We already got Danny Atwell confirmed. He's coming down. I believe Emily McNulty is going to be there. I believe Paul's going to be there. Paul Schroyer from the Magic Scroll Network. Me, Grave Robber. I know Gibby's going to be there. So yeah, we're doing it, man. Everyone's invited, Mikey. Yeah, if you want to show up, as soon as I find out what venue is going to be open that day, for us to like kind of commandeer and take over, I will be making that announcement. And yeah, you are invited. You can come have some beers with us, have some whiskey. You know, do a little dance, smoke a little weed, get down tonight. So yeah, we're gonna have some drinks. We're gonna be doing some karaoke, I hope, and it's gonna be a fun fucking time. And yeah, everyone's invited. We don't mind. And that's dogs. Yeah, I like beer. Hey, man. First one's on me. I'm a whiskey guy myself, man. I drank beer the other day. Got a little toasty. Ended up just like not enjoying the entire experience. So I was just like, ugh, miss whiskey. but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Grave Robber and I are gonna be there. I'm trying to confirm if DJ is gonna be there or not. I don't think he is, but I'm gonna try. I know Danny Atwell's gonna be there from Dark Charm. He's gonna be there. I believe Emily McNulty's gonna be there. She plays a bunch of characters on Dark Charm. I'm gonna be there. Hey, yeah, me. What kind of whiskey do I like? American whiskey. Dak Daniels. And you know, Jim Beam. That kind of thing. American whiskey slash, I don't know, bourbon. I don't know how the fuck these, like, you know, liquor snobs get into it. Oh, it's not this. It's not this. It's this. Like, yeah, fuck. You know what this is? This gets me drunk. And that's why I like this. Yeah. I've had my fair share of, you know what I mean? Domestic and foreign. I like my American whiskeys. Fucking, you give me on some Jack and Coke shit, I'll be up all night. The only real problem I have with is when I drink, I smoke a lot of cigarettes, like a lot of cigarettes. Because to me, it's like eating and drinking water, you know what I mean, or some kind of beverage. Like they go together. Like you don't just eat a meal without drinking something. You don't drink alcohol without smoking a cigarette, or you know. So I had to buy a lot of cigarettes ahead of time because to me they have to be together. And you know that's another thing, going back to the whole dialogue versus visually driven, like, storytelling. There's stuff that is out there that is both and done beautifully, and one dependent on the other, and it is wonderful. One of the best ones I can think of is the cigarette routine from Penn and Teller. I would suggest, you know what I mean, checking that out. It's the 7 Fundamentals of Sleight of Hand, I believe it's called, and how sleight of hand can be used to tell a story. And I believe honestly it's a wonderful piece of art that they do, and it's a cool routine as well. If you want to learn it, I mean, it's really neat. That's a good one. Yeah. And you know what I mean? But you know, that's just it. You know, without Penn telling you what's going on, Teller can still turn around. Why aren't we watching that? You want to watch it? I'll bring it up. I don't think we get hit by it. I'll bring it up, Mikey, if you want to watch it. And I'll go through why it's a double story. Like it's both visual and it's both visual and a dialogue-driven storytelling. I can do that. I don't know if we'll get hit, but you know, fuck it, we'll try. It's let's do it. All right, fuck it, let's go. Nope, that was the wrong button. All right. The fuck is that? No, stop. Yeah, here we go. Got it. So let me bring this down here. All right. With a silent medium, Teller is completely silent, so his mannerisms and the way he moves is what tells the story. It's what tells you what's happening, and that's why everything is so simulated. Is because without Penn narrating, he can still tell you the story. It's just a guy stomping out a cigarette, lighting a new one, and it's an infinite loop. So it's really cool. And Penn and Teller are some of the best storytellers and magicians I think on planet Earth. They do some tricks that I haven't figured out. Some busts that I haven't done. One of them being the bullet catch, or the magic bullet as they call it. But Penn adding in his narration is what gives you the story behind the story. And I think it's one of the most interesting ways to literally conceptualize. You know what I mean? Like literally conceptualize what is what is there. Let's look at another. All right, let's check out another. Testing on that one. I should be good. That's a bit high. That's a bit hot for my taste, but that should be where we're supposed to be. All right, let's check out another Penn and Teller original. Sure, let's do this. God, because that's SNL, so that might actually get fucking caught. Hold on a sec. That's the Tonight Show. That'll probably get docked. Jimmy Fallon definitely hit us. Trying to find one that's kind of like either really old or like so old that they can't hit us because it's like kind of fallen into public. So give me a sec here. Because this is I love watching Penn. I've binged most of Fool Us and how they bust the tricks and what they go what they do, and I think it's hilarious. You know what I mean? Sometimes how these guys can. Oh, you know what? That's a good one. Hold on. So this is one of my favorite videos. This is actually Penn and Teller at a very, very, very young. This is about 30, 40 years ago. And Penn and Teller used to have kind of this it was very much carny shit as Penn would describe it. They put Teller in a straitjacket. They hang him upside down, and it's carny shit. It really is, because Penn starts to read, and one of his favorite poems is Casey at the Bat, which is one of my favorite poems, ironically, and Teller has to escape the straitjacket before Penn finishes, or they drop him on his skull. And
stuff,
to me, this is
edifying
just
the
one of the
public,
more
right?
amazing
Yeah,
ones
that's
out
what we
there.
thought. I don't think so. See, Teller and I are a couple of sensationalist circus schlock hacks. We were asked to do a special for public television. We were real excited. We said we're going to rise to the occasion. We're going to do some real art stuff, right? So it was great. I was going to open with a poetry reading, and Teller, who doesn't speak in the show, was going to do a mime piece called The Birth of a Baby Dove in the Ghetto. It's beautiful stuff. Really nice, pretty, very carefully done stuff. And they said, no, these are the people at public TV, right? They say, no, that stuff's too boring. And if we want to do a show, we have to open with something more exciting. More exciting. The people that do Masterpiece Theater in the evening of the symphony want us to be more exciting. So we've compromised.
And that's a real thing. They really did say that. You guys are Penn and Teller. You guys have to come out with something a little bit more than that.
Patty Kunkel is the producer of this show. We came to her with this beautiful, beautiful script with a poetry reading at the beginning, and she said, no, it wouldn't hold their attention. I'm saying, this is what they do Mr. Rogers on this network. They don't have to hold attention. And she says, no, we got to do something else. Just get all the buckles there. We got to do something else. And Cordelia Stone, she's our director. She said she wants something a little bit more exciting. That's where they put it. They don't put it cheap. Put it through the loop over there, and then pull these two arms together, okay? The more you can hurt them, the more pledged dollars you'll get for public TV, okay? Tighten up real good, okay? Really good, okay? You just let me help you here. Just really tug. There you go. Just put that in there. Right over here. I couldn't believe it.
If you're asking if he's actually kind of torturing Teller, the answer is
let me do this one, Teller, because the dog shouldn't have to. Yeah, get this one right out of the way. We watched these things. We thought the kind of stuff they wanted was like poetry reading, and they said no. They wanted something a little bit more razzle-dazzle and exciting, so we came up with this. And it is, watch it, Teller. It is a bit of a compromise. Is that okay? And I just want you to know that all this stuff, the gravity boots, the whole rigging, the pulleys, the thing coming across to my chair, that's public TV's idea. That's not mine. I am going to open with a poetry reading, but see, public TV, when they think of magic, they think of some greasy guy in a tux with a lot of birds or some aging hippie shoving women into boxes, and they don't seem to understand that there are other kinds of magic. I'm referring, of course, to the magic of poetry, and indeed all the fine arts. And we are going to open our show with a poetry reading. And I think that even though you might have been expecting something a bit more
if you're wondering if he's really suffering through this,
well enough that you
the answer
will
is
hang on my every word.
Yes, Penn delights,
literally
delights in torturing Teller.
I am sure you'll be suitably impressed.
And it's one of the most wonderful fucking things.
Ernest Lawrence Thayer. Not a very famous name, but that man wrote perhaps the most famous American poem. He was a journalist in San Francisco, and this poem first appeared in the San Francisco Examiner Sunday morning, June 3rd, 1888.
I got to remind you that
the poem is entitled
Teller is really
Casey
upside down. Teller is really in gravity boots. And Teller's really in the straight jacket that Penn has pinched
shut. And I should be reading Casey at the Bat for you this evening in exactly 2 minutes and 16 seconds, after which I will jump to my feet and take my final bow. Casey at the Bat. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2 with but 1 inning left to play. So when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a sickly silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to
you have to remember that this is again visual storytelling,
clung to that hope which
very much tied
in the human breast.
With dialogue and how the two are so well married.
They'd put even money now with Casey at the bat.
Yep.
But Flynn preceded Casey,
one of my favorite poems.
As did also Jimmy Blake. The former was a Lulu, and the latter was a cake. So on that stricken multitude, grim melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off that ball.
Teller very hard, and that's called a burn. When you burn someone, you
safe at second. Old Flynn was hugging third.
You watch them with every intent, every fucking fiber of your being. You watch them.
Yell, it rumbled in the valley, it rattled in the dell, it knocked upon the mountain and then recoiled across the flat. For Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing and a smile on Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt it was Casey up the bat. 1,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 4,000 tongues applauded when he wiped him on his shirt. Then while the riding pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance gleamed in Casey's eye, a sneer to Casey's lip. And now the leather covered spear comes hurtling through the air, and Casey stood there watching it in haughty grandeur there. Close by the sturdy batsman, the ball in heated sped. Aim with style, said Casey. Struck one, the umpire said. For the bench is black with people. There went up a muffled roar, like the beating of the storm waves on a stern and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire! Shouted someone in the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him. And not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's
Now,
vision shown.
if you're watching the audience, like every time they show up, there are people really concerned for poor Teller.
And the umpire says, "Strike two, frog on man, thousand the eagle, ball. Still look Casey, the audience is off. Dogger should have goes all the straight. Through the Casey, middle of the ball, by again. She's going to get limited in 8 pounds. This girl by the barrel play. Now patrols ball, let us go. Now they're shut up, getting low. So this here lands 105 minutes somewhere, some hard light. Some middle alley, some little shot. In the drive, the mighty Casey has struck out.
Live from the heart of Hollywood, the show business capital of the world.
There you go.
It's Penn and Teller.
So there you go. That is something from some fucking forlorn. That is a long fucking time ago. But I believe it's one of the more interesting aspects of what Penn and Teller do, and how to marry very successfully, visual storytelling, visuals like Teller hearing Penn speed up. You know what I mean? Speed the poem up, and how he reacts. He reacts viscerally. He reacts enough for the audience to notice that he's given Penn this "what the fuck are you doing" look. And so you have this wonderful marriage of narration, which is dialogue, and no matter how you slice it, and you have movement and silent movement, which is Teller. And Penn and Teller is one of the more natural, one of the more beautiful ways that both narration and visual storytelling can be married together. And I do believe that, yes, there is a wonderful place and a very necessary place for dialogue, because dialogue is, after all, as Robin Williams said in Dead Poets Society, what we live for. It is the fervor that drives us. But never discount the idea that a look, a meaningful look, a silence, stillness, you know what I mean, can tell as much of a story as 1,000 words of dialogue. A laugh can do a lot. I mean, you have the Joker and him laughing, but I would rather focus on the laugh of the Crow. Like, for instance, what's an example of a look conveying a story? I'll go old school. Let's go old school. Let's go Blade Runner. When I believe it's Rutger Hauer is monologuing to Harrison Ford on top of the building, and the speech itself is wonderful. It is wonderful. It has some beautiful visuals. Spaceships on fire outside of Orion's belt. All these things lost forever. And as a monologue, you could literally do an acting exercise and monologue that, and it would be wonderful because all the words are there and they're so well presented and so well represented. However, it's Rutger Hauer's ability to use his emotion and use the way he looks and his forlorn look, that he is a synthetic person, but somehow he's feeling this. That's what gives you the visual storytelling. Like, you're feeling that pain. The laugh that is, in The Crow, when he falls off the roof and he's going after Tintin in the alley, the black guy with the dreads, when he's going after Tintin in the alley, he's thinking things. He's not well. The Crow, Eric Draven, he's kind of insane. So when he falls and he hits the ground and he survives, he starts laughing. And it's this maniacal laugh that just starts from the diaphragm and just builds and builds and builds. And that is, you realize the character's realizing that he's invincible. And not only is he invincible, but he's going to be able to exact the revenge he wants to, because they can't fucking hurt him. So there is wonderful examples of just being able to spoiler. Shut up, Mike. There's wonderful examples of using silence and using sullen, even lighting, and stuff like that to convey an emotion or just a story in something so simple. And it's wonderful, and if you know how to do it, you don't need dialogue. So there are ways to do it, and this antiquated idea that because when we started adding dialogue and sounds to movies, that we had to, the public is just fucking sick of silent movies. Buster Keaton and Charlie Chaplin are the way of the dodo. Now we have to put in as much dialogue as possible. We have to cover the Maltese Falcon. We have to do Shakespeare. We have to, bring the radio shows to life that were all dialogue because we couldn't fucking visually tell you a story. But Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, they're still talked about today. And for a reason. And it's because not only are their physical feats, but their ability to just tell a story. Just tell a story with some looks, some silly gestures, or stuff like that. Like so much of that can be done in just looks and silence and sullenness. And even when you go to stuff like horror, you know what I mean. When you have the original Alien, or the like Aliens, when there's things that are happening. Tom Cruise is actually really good with delivering some emotion through looks. I think some of his better acting came out in Minority Report. I know everybody hates that fucking movie, but I do love the idea that in the movie he was very much forced as a character to deal with the emotions that he was dealing with, and I kind of like that. He did another one that's kind of futuristic, not Edge of Tomorrow. There was, the hell is it called? Oblivion. Oblivion is another one that had a lot of just beautiful scenery. A lot of things told without saying. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you watch it. The visuals in that movie are stunning. They are stunning. Like whoever the fuck worked on that did a lot of good work. So, but if I have to say my favorite fucking Tom Cruise movie of all time, the movie that made me want to become a director, was Collateral by Michael Mann, starring Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx, Jada Pinkett Smith, a couple other people. Immigrant and Aunt Martha's was a good movie. Have I seen that? I'm pretty sure I have. Oh, you idiot. I just got what that meant. Well, we don't talk about politics or that stuff on this show. So, But, because there is actually a movie called Immigrant at Something's Gate. So I was like, have I seen that movie? I'm sure I've seen that movie. Fuck you, Mike. You actually got me on that one. I actually had to Google it because I thought it was the other movie I was thinking of. However, visuals, man. Visuals, when you have a good visual, you don't need to... It's all right, Mike. You don't need to have 1,000 lines of dialogue. You don't need to have 18 pages read per minute. It's just too much, man. It's just too much. You want a really good movie, like a solid fucking movie, like a movie that you just you walk away going, fuck, that was an experience. Watch Collateral. It has Tom Cruise. It has Jamie Foxx, Jada Pinkett Smith. Now, the reason I say this movie is because it is grittily, just, it is so based in reality. It is so anxiety inducing because everything about that movie feels real. Like, it feels like this should be based on a real story. You know what I mean? Like how visceral they got with that movie, and it's it's probably one of my favorite movies of all time because of how much they show of L.A. without showing L.A. You know what I mean? Oh, look at the neon signs and all the clubs and all the beautiful people. No, they take you on the freeway, they take you on the train, they go downtown. You know what I mean? Like you see some of the bodegas. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful movie, and it is one of the best shot, one of the best acted fucking movies I can say, with no hesitation at all. And it is the movie that made me want to be a director. It is a movie that I was like, I always wanted to be in show business. I just never knew what. Like I like acting. I do like acting. I do like voiceover. I love production. I love writing. But man, seeing what Michael Mann did with that movie and just seeing how well he was able to deconstruct all these beautiful things and make them very much accessible to the it's on Netflix. It's on Netflix right now. It literally just hit like 2 days ago. It's gorgeous because LA seems very much accessible in that movie. And having been to LA several times, having driven through LA several times, knowing people who live in LA now, that is probably the most accurate representation of what you're going to have of LA, especially circa that time. But yeah, watch it. It is an incredible watch. It really, really is. And I'm not overselling this. And maybe I am. Maybe it's just my art brain. You know what I mean? It's just my art nerd or my film nerd brain going like, this is fucking amazing. To me, it is one of the more amazing fucking movies out there, and it's, in my opinion, criminally underrated. And I think it should have been. I think it should have been brought up for a lot of awards that year. And I don't think it got any. I don't think it was even. I don't even think it was put up on the secondary circuits. But really, really beautiful movie. A lot of interesting acting exercises done by Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx. Wonderful, wonderful range of emotions that happens in that movie, especially from Tom Cruise. Like Tom Cruise plays it so well, like so well, and I really do think everybody should watch it. Collateral, yes, it is wonderful. It is beautiful, beautiful movie. Collateral, Netflix. Yeah, Mikey. Send us an email, man. Send us an email. Let me know what you think about it. Give me a full review. Be as brutally honest as you want. You ain't gonna hurt my feelings. But that is the show for today. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Paul, for joining me. Mikey, for hanging out and tricking me into a couple of fucking things. And I hope you really do enjoy Collateral. Notes for you later. But yeah, I really do hope you enjoy Collateral. I really, really do. Because it's one of my favorite movies. But with all that said and done, thanks to Gibby for the talking point for today. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. So have a good night. And if you're drinking, have a beer for me. Peace.